Finn recaps more of the big moments and Ramaswamy's face-to-face with voters. Of course, he's a rising star, no matter how you slice it. Emily?
Adrian, good morning to you. Our NewsNation viewers had a chance to speak directly with Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, asking their questions about why he believes he's the right candidate for the job. Entering the race as a political nobody, polling at 0%, Ramaswamy has been able to secure a top 3 spot in the polls, racing ahead of seasoned candidates like former Vice President Mike Pence and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley for that GOP nomination.
I want to lead us to a national revival.
NewsNation's Leland Vittert moderated a town hall event with Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy on NewsNation last night, with the GOP candidate promising to bring unity to America if elected. At 38 years old, Ramaswamy is the youngest person to ever vie for the Republican presidential nomination.
I have lived the American dream. This country has given me much. I'm a son of immigrants who came to this country with no money. I've gone on to found multi-billion-dollar companies. Did it while marrying my wife, raising our 2 sons. That's the example we want to set for this country of what is possible, regardless of whether you're black or white, regardless of whether you are Democrat or Republican. That's the way it's done in the United States of America. That is what unites us.
He's polling at about 6%, trailing far behind President Trump and inching closer to beating Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. Voters in our NewsNation studio in Chicago and those watching live in Iowa and New Hampshire had a chance to ask him about top issues facing Americans today. On the home front, Ramaswamy says combating wokeism in the classroom and getting our economy back on track would be his top priorities.
Fix inflation, drill, frack, burn coal, embrace nuclear energy. That's how we drive inflation down. That's how we drive GDP growth. No longer pay people to stay at home rather than to go to work. Attach work requirements to welfare. That's how we bring down the national debt. It's also how we help address the open positions in the economy.
And when it comes to foreign policy, he vowed not to send American troops to Ukraine and to make sure China does not meddle in our nation's interests.
My message to Xi Jinping is you do not mess with the United States of America and you do not mess with our interests. And our interests include Taiwan until we have achieved semiconductor independence. So yes, I will be very clear that we are fully prepared to actually see that through.
And Ramaswamy has met the criteria to qualify for the first Republican presidential debate coming up in Milwaukee next week. So we will be hearing more from the young candidate and watch him face off with the rest of the GOP pack. Marky.
All right, we'll be following him closely. Emily, Finn, thanks so much for that recap from last night.